are listening to Digital Denizens.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Digital Denizens. This is where we go live to discuss all things in the ever-expansive gaming realm. Today is June 25th, episode 38, and I am your host, Keith Whalen, aka the Gamer Stache. Alongside me, I am joined by Mr. Chadley McPaquin. No, just kidding. It's just Paquin.
Just me today. Nobody else wanted to join us.
Hey, it's all right, man. It's been a while. I'm just me and you, man, shooting the shit. If you guys aren't familiar, Chad is from Fanboy and the Snobs. Tell us a little bit about what you do, Chad, with Fanboy.
Fanboy and the Snob is basically we have our podcast with our special third chair, Keith. Until he wants
Weird.
to
It's like a crossover universe. Is that what you're saying? I hate when they do that shit. No, I'm just kidding.
But mainly we do movie reviews and talk about movies. We try to do skits and stuff. Real fun.
That's awesome. And where can everybody find your podcast and everything on?
You can go to our Instagram, Fanboy and the Snob. And in the bio, we have our link tree where you can find all the YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that stuff.
Sweet. And is for YouTube, is it like / Fanboy and the Snob, or they just have to search Fanboy and the Snob?
They have to search Fanboy and the Snob. We don't have 100 subscribers yet because it's a new channel.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured, but I just put it in the link at the bottom. So yeah, if you guys are watching, you'll see the video links. They're down below. You can see all mine for the Gamer Stache, Digital Denizens, and then for Fanboy and the Snob, also known as the Fats Podcast. It'll catch on eventually, goddammit. We've
just accidents.
What's that?
That was a happy accident.
It was a happy accident. You know, that's so awesome. Well, we got an intriguing episode ahead of us, full of loops, pixels, and nonsense. But before we do, remember, if you guys want to write into the podcast to have us read your funny anecdotes, interesting or emotionally charged video game stories, offer up ridiculous life questions like, what is the cardboard box? Well, if you've played any of the Metal Gear games, then you know that the cardboard boxes aren't inherently strange, but the way that Solid Snake uses them is absolutely absurd. He is somehow able to turn a simple box into one of the best stealth tools in gaming. While hiding under it, he is virtually invisible. Enemies might be curious, but they often won't check a container that has suddenly appeared in the middle of the area they've been patrolling for the last 3 hours. One would think that at least they'd notice that a box changes position every time they look away. But alas, the professional soldiers are oddly confounded by the cardboard box.
Thank God none of them want to clean up at all. They just see trash on the ground. They're like, not my job.
I know. We'll just wait for the fucking janitor to come along. I don't get paid enough for this bullshit. If you guys want to write in and share with us what you're currently playing, we would also be thrilled to share your thoughts with the rest of the listeners. We also have our segment Pixel to Pixel, where we make mentions and shout-outs for those who would like us to. We also have our other series, the Content Creation Corner. Content Creation Corner. It's a fucking mouthful. Anyway, we haven't resumed doing that yet. Well, I haven't. That's solely on me, but that's fine. It's a choice I will have to live with. This is where we bring in streamers, YouTubers, and podcasters, artists, and any talented individual in the gaming industry on the show that are like-minded and kind of get some insight on why they do what they do, what keeps them going. And I think it's really neat to have somebody like that come on, because we don't always know, what it takes to run a podcast or be in content creation, or have like an art shop or businesses and things like that. So it's difficult to do that if you don't have the know-how to start one, or if you're just looking for like advice on how to improve. And the gear that goes into all of that kind of stuff, I think, is really awesome. But this is also in tandem with New Game Plus Network, which me and Chad are honored to be a part of. We also have a couple other members that are part of that as well. If you guys are looking to join us, we're not asking for money or anything like that. This is just to get gamers together or like-minded content creation people together to share advice or just hang out and kind of chat. So we have the Discord, we have Instagram, New Game Plus Network, and also if you're looking to get your hands on merch from either Digital Denizens or from Fanboy and the Snob, we have Sector 7 Item Shop, Devoted Saint Retro, and we got All for Gamers, A4GZ. So please go hit us up. That's storefrontier/JYAchannel.com. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, we also have our series Next Gen, which is usually with Leslie from Sector 7 Item Shop with her daughter. And, we talk about games and things like that teen gamers are playing, which I think really opens up the audience to a younger age range, I guess, which is kind of cool, I think, for parents who are looking for games to buy for their kids, or kids that are about the same age that are like, oh, that seems like something I'd be interested in. So it's kind of cool to pick their brain about games. But yeah, we'll probably resume that, I think, probably after the summer, I'm assuming, because I think she's away for a little bit. So, speaking of which, if you want to reach us, you can get us on Facebook at Digital Denizens or on Instagram at Digital_Denizens. And of course, if you have any feedback, that always helps us to improve the show. If you're watching the video version again, the links are down below. Go check us out, please. Let's see. So we will go through the Pixel to Pixel mentions real quick here. So we have Chad here, which is the first one on the list. But so this is Chad and his buddy Chris that run the podcast. As he said, it covers games, comics, movies, TV, other relevant, non-relevant topics. You can find them on Fanboy and the Instagram at Fanboy and the Snob, and find the links in the bio to get. I think it's the link tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that'll take you to all of their content there. We have Devoted Saint Retro. He does a lot of gaming art with woodworking and CNC and 3D printing and stuff like that. So that's really cool. He's been 3D printing like the cart stands and stuff for NES, SNES, N64, Sega Genesis, Game Boy, you name it. They're really cool, and I think he just started doing resin prints, which are a lot better than 3D printing because it's more of like a smooth print versus like 3D printing has a lot of the weird texture and stuff to it where you gotta like sand them down and it looks kind of weird. It can look a little weird where the resin stuff. Yeah, Chad's holding one for the Game Boy carts there. But yeah, so we'll probably be seeing some of those. If you go check out his shop, you'll see those on there. There's one for the Genesis, Madame. And then he also creates the controller stand. They're like wooden controller stands with like epoxy and puts LEDs in them. So you can get them for like PlayStation, the Switch, Xbox. Yeah, those are really cool. So you can find him on Instagram at Devoted Saint Retro, and the shop link is there, or you can go right to the website, which is devotedsaintretro.com. And we got and sometimes he does he streams some games on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/devotedsaintretro. But also, if you're looking for even just like a custom thing that you're like, oh, that sounds like something, like I have this idea and I don't know how to make it, he might know how to make that thing.
He actually made some really cool like light up signs and all that stuff too. Has some cool arcade machine stuff.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of stuff with those, the old arcade machine stuff. That is really cool. So yeah, please go check him out. Next, as I mentioned, we have Leslie from Sector 7 Item Shop. She creates gaming-related merch and art. You can find her over in the Sector 7 slums, just around the corner. You hang a left and just a dash up the stairs. She's got a lot of awesome stuff. I would pull it out, but I got a bunch of stuff in the way that I don't want to knock over. Such as my beer. But it's like the wooden resin trays, and I got a cyberpunk one that's really cool. But she makes them for like all sorts of different games. She just made like a larger one that has like the Final Fantasy VII sword with like the press continue. blue menu and all that stuff. Really awesome stuff. Yeah, so you can find her on Instagram at Sector 7 Item Shop, and she's got a link tree there. We have Vile Shrew. He is a Twitch streamer / YouTube content creator. He's been on the show before. He's also my cousin, so I don't have to support him, but I like to support him because he's a good dude, besides just being my cousin.
I don't think I've talked to him yet.
You still haven't talked to him?
I don't think so.
No. He's a really cool dude. I mean, like, if you definitely have questions about, like, streaming, he's definitely the guy to go to. He helped me kind of set up my streaming. Like, I had a ton of questions. I was like, how do I do this and how do I do that? And he's like, well, you blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I got none of that. No, I'm just kidding. He's a very smart individual. But, yeah, he streams all sorts of games. It's something different on any given time. But sometimes he'll stream with his wife. He also does like a bar stream where he mixes up different drinks and stuff. And I think he's been doing like a cooking stream on Twitch as well. So you can find him on twitch.tv/vileshrew and youtube.com/vileshrew. We have AJ from All for Gamers /A4GZ. He has a shop through Instagram where he sells gaming merch and tiny arcades. These things are freaking awesome. I wish I had the one that I got in front of me, but it's like a miniature 1989 Ninja Turtles arcade machine that you can play anywhere in your pocket. Not literally playing it while it's in your pocket. I think that might look a little strange to most people. They're like, playing some pocket pool? No, actually, I'm playing this 1989 Ninja Turtles game in my pocket. I'll have you know. But yeah, you can go check out his shop there. He's got like mystery boxes that will come with like little mini pinball machines or arcade machines with like these little like the NES controller candies that come in the little tins, and there's just like a lot of really cool stuff there. So he also does streaming on Twitch. I know for a while he was doing like Stardew Valley, Blue Fire, and then he was doing Uncharted, and now I think he's switched over to doing, I think Mondays is like Pokemon Monday, so he's been playing, I think it's Pokemon Sword or Shield, one of them. I think it might be Sword. And then Wednesdays he was playing, I think he was doing like
Mario.
What was it?
I think so.
Mario Party?
I'm pretty sure it was Mario.
That's right, yeah, because he had two buddies that he was streaming with, where they were playing Mario Party. So he's kind of like switching it up here and there, kind of trying to, feel out the audience with different stuff. Which, I mean, you got to do that, and mix it up so you're not getting stale or getting bored of doing the same thing over and over again. So, but yeah, go find him on Instagram at All for Gamers. You can find him on allforgamers.com, Facebook at All for Gamers, twitch.tv/A4GZ, and youtube.com/allforgamers. Next we got Andre Fingers421. He's a Twitch streamer, mostly Valorant, I want to say, and this guy's funny as shit. Funniest fucking guy I think I've ever met in my life. But please go check him out. Even if you don't enjoy Valorant, he will make you laugh. I guarantee that. You can find him on Instagram at Fingers421 and twitch.tv/Fingers421. Next we got Deadly Anime Squad, Twitch streamer playing Borderlands 3, Days Gone, Outriders, Ghost of Tsushima, MLB The Show 19. That's just kind of a lineup of what he was playing recently. I haven't checked in to see what he was streaming most recently, but you can find him on twitch.tv/Deadly Anime Squad and Instagram at Deadly Anime Squad 1. Next we have Alec Martell, host of Rapid Chatter Podcasts. This is where he has discussions and interviews covering a wide variety of topics ranging from entertainment to personal experiences. Wonderful individual. Love this guy. I need to have him on the podcast again soon. And you can find him on Instagram at Ghoul for Coffee, Instagram at Rapid Chatter, and currently he posts his podcast to anchor.fm/Rapid Chatter, which gets distributed to Spotify, I think like Apple, Overcast, and some other ones as well. And let's see, last one we got is Dan and Nick from What the Famicom. they are a gaming podcast for people who hate gaming podcasts. Perfect. These guys are awesome. They're funny as shit. And I think they mostly cover like a lot of retro games and stuff like that. Really cool dudes. Please go check them out. What's that?
I'd say.
Oh, I heard there was like weird feedback. It was like I thought you said something. You can find them on Instagram at WhatTheFamicom, and they got a link tree in their bio to get to all of their content and stuff like that. So, what do you say? Shall we dive right into it, Chadley?
Do it.
Mic drop, motherfucker. Video games. Video games. Video games. All right, guys. What are you buying? What are you playing?
So I recently went on a 3-day binge and beat Mario 1, the Lost Levels, and Mario 3.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Mario 1 was really easy. I beat that in like a half hour, which I know isn't speedrun time, but...
That's still pretty good, though. I don't know that... I mean, I don't remember how long it took me to beat it as a kid. It's been many years since I played it.
The Lost Levels was a little trickier.
Yeah, I've heard they're pretty hard. Yeah.
It's not impossible. Like, once you get to playing the first one, like, through, made playing this one way easier.
Yeah.
So, like, when I first got my Switch, I tried playing it, and I'm like, screw this. But then I played it again the other day, and it was on point. Mario 3 is pretty easy.
Yeah, Mario 3, I remember, wasn't too bad. Yeah. It's still been a long time since I've played any of them, but...
Yeah, I beat it the other day in like an hour and a half, I think, without using whistles. Which still isn't the fastest, but...
Oh, really?
Pretty cool, I guess. Now I'm trying to beat Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, fuck, dude. How is that going?
I keep going back and forth on it, because sometimes I just don't like losing a lot.
Are you playing like... Was it like the remaster that they just released?
Oh, no, it's the NES version.
Oh, the original. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm trying to burn through all the free games.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I have Breath of the Wild. It's just sitting there.
I know. I still need to go back and play that too. I never finished it. It was an awesome game. I don't remember what I was playing at the time that I was just like, I know I got to finish this first before I go back to it, and then I never did. Yeah. Have you ever played like the newer Ninja Gaiden games?
They're sick. I love those games.
They're so good, but
last one I played was Sigma. I think that was the remake, right? Of the PS3.
I think it was. Yeah. I think it was Ninja Gaiden Black Sigma.
Yeah.
Was the remake. And I
never beat it. I want to go back to it.
Yeah, honestly, I never beat any of the Ninja Gaiden games. Like, those, in my opinion, were like the original Dark Souls games. Like, they're so fucking good, but they're so hard. You know, like the bosses especially.
The NES version's ridiculous, some of the stuff you have to do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in this one, I'm not going to lie, I've been cheating, kind of. I've been, you can pretty much save anywhere with the Switch.
Oh, yeah, like the save scumming that you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I get through, like, a really hard part, I'm like, alright, fuck it, save.
You know what? Honestly, I don't even care. Like, with those older games, like, they were so fucking hard. Like, I wish I had that shit as a kid. So, like, having it now, you're like, oh, thank fucking God.
Well, it was back in the day when you used to have to leave your Nintendo one for, like, a whole day.
I know. Like,
go to bed, your mom doesn't walk by and, like, oh, push the button.
Let me just turn that off. Fuck!
I've been working on that for, like, 3 hours!
Yeah. I haven't showered in 3 days because of that game.
That's probably the main reason why I never beat games back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think they were made to be hard, and they were made so that way, like, most people didn't buy them because they were so expensive. So people would just keep renting them over and over and over again from, like, you know, Blockbuster and shit like that.
Yeah, people complain now. Games back in the day were like $80.
They were. Yeah.
Like the NES games, the Super Nintendo games, I think they're like $70-$80 at times.
Yeah, and I want to say, like, even Nintendo 64, when they got to that point, they were still like about $70 or $80.
Yeah.
You know, like, that was crazy.
Now it's, I think, back up, what, to 70?
Yeah, now we're up to 70 with like the next gen, but it's not like across the board though. Like I've seen like some developers that are like, no, we're not going to do the $70 thing. Like it's just, I think it's stupid, honestly. Like you're going to fucking charge us more because why?
Well, I get more mad because they charge $70 and they're like DLC, pay $20 now, pay more $20.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We're already paying for like season passes with like all the stupid digital content that most of the time sucks. And then you have like, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but
Yeah, the only DLC I'll probably buy is from fighting games. That's because you get all the characters and costumes and stuff.
yeah, I think some games have like some really cool like content that they put into them, but for the most part, it's like most of those season passes and shit have nothing in there, nothing worth playing, and you're paying like 20 or $30 for those things. But
There was a game recently that had to like put out an apology because the game tanked and they just didn't do the stuff that they were supposed to do for the game. The what's it called? The special editions and everything.
oh yeah, what was that?
What the hell's it called? Something Pass? So you just said it.
Uh
Season Pass.
Yeah, season pass. Yep.
So then they had to like send out an apology. It might have been Cyberpunk. I can't remember. Although Cyberpunk is back on the PlayStation Network. It died again.
I know. No, Cyberpunk didn't have a season pass from like the get go. I still don't think they have a season pass. I think most of the content, like DLC content, is just going to be free. I mean, that's kind of what they did with The Witcher, except for like the expansions that they came out with. Those you had to buy separately.
But I owe it to a lot of people that bought the game to give them free DLC.
Yeah, like they're usually pretty cool about like giving like extra DLC and stuff like that for free, but unless it's like this large expansion, which like is rightfully so, like, what was it? Was it Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone? Like those ones I think were like, I don't know, I want to say like 10 or $20 a piece, but
Hey, $10 isn't bad.
no, and I mean that added a shit ton of extra gameplay to The Witcher 3. That was insane.
Yeah.
Like still never got through all of that.
Yeah, especially The Witcher, probably. But most games would probably add like an hour to 3 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, for The Witcher 3, I think
like
it
it,
added.
$3.
I think Blood and Wine was at least like 30 hours extra.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it was a whole nother fucking game in itself, and I think Hearts of Stone was probably about maybe 15 or 20 extra hours.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, I really don't remember how much money got put into Mortal Kombat with all these like things they have if you don't buy like the season pass and everything. Because they had Mortal Kombat 11, they made Mortal Kombat Aftermath Ultimate, and then you had all the DLC characters you could buy for like $8, I think.
Yeah, because you can buy them individually, or you can buy like the season pass, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
game's great.
Interesting.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 12.
Yeah. My son's currently playing through what is it? Injustice 2.
Oh yeah,
That's a good game. That's pretty
I
cool.
still I played the first one a lot, but I haven't really played a lot of the second one.
Yeah, we have both of them, but he went to this one because he was like, the other one looks like crap, and I'm like, I mean, it's been a while, Things do get better when they make sequels, usually.
I'm excited because Mortal Kombat uses the Unreal Engine.
Oh,
So
does it?
that
Okay.
game on Unreal 5 is going to be like ridiculous.
Oh, dude. I know. Yeah, we were talking about that on your podcast, like the Unreal 5 engine. Looks
Looks
fucking
so good.
crazy with those particle effects, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I
I want
haven't...
to see the game now because they did that. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no.
There's
What were you saying?
like, somebody used the Unreal Engine just to see Superman like run on top of a building and just fly in the air and take off.
Yeah, we did watch that. That is pretty cool, man. Like, I like seeing what people are able to make with those engines when they release them out.
I wish I knew how to code.
What's that?
I wish I knew how to do all the coding and everything.
Yeah, I know. I think that's the hardest part when it comes to like developing. That would be like not my strong suit, is like the coding part of that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm smart enough.
I know. I can't do trigonometry, man. Fuck that. I could barely do college algebra. I don't fucking math. Yeah, I know. That looks fucking cool as shit. I'm curious to see like what games they're gonna start doing with that engine. I haven't really been playing a whole lot lately, but the last like day or so I've been playing. I went back to this is one of my favorites. I go back to it all the time. Is Grim Fandango. Grim Fandango. It's a LucasArts game from Double Fine, and they released it. They did a remaster some years back and released it like on Switch, on PS4, Xbox. I think Xbox, and also PC. But it's just like, it just blows my fucking mind how like genius that game fucking is still to this day, and it's been probably over 20 years since that game came out.
Yeah, well, what's his name from Double Fine? I always forget.
Tim Schafer.
Yeah, Tim Schafer's awesome. Psychonauts was a great game. Did you ever play that?
Yes, dude. I know. Psychonauts is awesome. And
I play the Oops, I don't have an Xbox.
Yeah, but you might be. I mean, do you have a PC that you could play it on or no?
I don't know if this one can handle it.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. That's actually coming to Game Pass like for free, and I'm like from day one, and I'm like, that's fucking cool as shit.
I'm excited though, because you might put it on Nintendo since Xbox has that little relationship with Nintendo now.
Yeah, I could totally see them putting it on Nintendo on the Switch or something. Because I'm pretty sure, like, Double Fine has released a lot of their games on the Switch. Like, Day of the Tentacle was one of them. They have Grim Fandango. I don't know if the first Psychonauts is on there, but I'll have to check into that. Let me look real quick.
I feel like it was on the Wii U.
I think it might have been. Psychonauts. Nintendo... Switch. Let's see. Is very likely going to come on Nintendo Switch. They later added clarifying this is. Yeah, I think that's what you were saying. Yeah, I don't think it's on Switch. Yeah, it's only on Xbox. Probably PlayStation. I don't know if it's even on PlayStation 4. It's been so long.
Yeah, I played it on PlayStation 3.
Oh, it was on Yeah.
PlayStation. I mean, wow, was it that long ago?
PlayStation 2. Yeah, man, it's been a while.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not on Nintendo then.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Yeah, those games come to the Switch, but also Broken Age. That's also on the Switch, which is a really good Double Fine game.
I haven't played that. The only one I played really was Psychonauts and Brutal Legend.
Oh, Brutal Legend was good with Jack Black. That's an awesome one.
It was like a half really good game, but half kind of... It was confusing. Because you had like the tower defense, and you had melee, and it's like, not really good at tower defense.
Yeah, that was the part I didn't really like about it either. Like, I like the hack and slash sort of elements of that game, but then, yeah, it was kind of weird. I don't know that I ever actually finished it, but it was really cool.
It was a funny.
It was very funny. That's like one of what I was gonna say about like Grim Fandango. It's like the voice acting, the comedy is just like fucking right on point, like all the fucking way through. And I mean, the premise of that game in itself too is like really well done, where you play as a Grim Reaper in the land of the dead for the Department of Death, and you have to like work off your sentence, which you don't even know what it was that you did when you were alive that got you into this mess, but you need to figure out like how to like get out of it. But also the Department of Death is like stealing tickets from their clients for like, so depending on how good of a life you led, you you get like either the number 9 ticket on the train that goes to the 9th underworld where you can rest. It's like the, you know, eternal peace or whatever. Or you were so bad that you have to walk with like this walking stick with just a compass. It's like a 4-year journey through like the perilous dangers of the 9th underworld. And it's just, but the company is like stealing these tickets from all these good people and trying to use them for themselves because they know that like this is the only world that they have So there's no way that they can get to the ninth underworld and rest. So they're just using these tickets to sell them for money. And
you said that on Switch?
Yeah,
too, or?
Yeah, it's on Switch. I have it on PS4, I have it on PC, and I play it on either one depending on, what I'm feeling. But I've been playing it on the Switch lately, and it looks awesome. It's easy to play, and it's just like one of those things. I don't even have to think about it anymore. I've played it so many fucking times. Like, I know exactly what to say and like what process to go through every time I play the game. Then I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get this item, then I gotta get this item, and then go back here and then over here. And it's just easy to jump back into every once in a while. But yeah, it's so fucking good. And like the soundtrack is awesome too. Yeah, it's one of my favorite games. But it's all centered around like the Day of the Dead sort of thing, theme. Yeah. So, and I think probably on Switch you can probably get it for like maybe $10 or $20. Probably more to the $20 range because it's Nintendo.
Yeah, they never lower their prices.
Yeah, even if it's not theirs, it's which doesn't make any sense. But yeah. What
was the game called again?
Grim Fandango. Yeah. Freaking excellent game. It just makes me laugh every time too.
No, I always saw the cover of this game and wondered what it was.
Yeah, it's so good. It nails the theme, and the voice acting is like fucking on point. But yeah, so I've been playing that, and I wanted to get into some other games, but I don't know. There just hasn't been like a ton that like has been piquing my interest. I did want to try and pick up Biomutant because I heard really good things about that game.
Chris liked it a lot.
Yeah.
He said he didn't like how some of the choices made you only be able to go down like one path, kind of
Linear.
Yeah, like he put it this way, like halfway through the game, he's like, "This game's amazing." Then it kind of dragged him down a bit, but I think that's just Chris being Chris.
Yeah, it could be. Chris Rocco or other Chris?
Yeah, Rocco. I think he said the game's very woke.
Very woke.
So that kind of grind his gears. I remember texting me being like, "Fucking love this game so much, but it's pissing me off now."
Oh my god. Yeah, I'd like to try it. It looks neat, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to spend like the whole $60 on it. I thought maybe I'd wait for it to go down in price a little bit.
Yeah, he said wait for the price to go down.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I don't think it'll be very long before it does drop. But the other game I really want to play that I've been waiting for is the new Sniper Elite VR game, which is coming out, I think, July 8th. Because I love the Sniper Elite games. They're fucking awesome. And I've been waiting for the VR version to come out for a while. And they finally announced the release date, which I think I mentioned on the last episode. I mean...
So what is the game? Is it just like a Sniper VR game?
So the Sniper Elite games are, like, they all take place during World War II. A lot of them seem to take place during, like, the Italian campaign. When the Nazis were invading Italy. So it's mostly focused around sniping, and like they have a lot of really cool realistic physics that kind of follow suit with that, like bullet drop, wind, direction, a lot of like realism and stuff like that, where you can like hold your breath to kind of steady the shot and everything. But you can also use like pistols and submachine guns, and then they also have like booby traps. Like you can put down landmines for tanks, so like when they go over them, it'll blow them up. Or there's like tripwires, so you can set it in the doorway. So then like when an enemy goes in there, like you're sniping on the roof, but you can set it to the doorway. So if they see you on the roof and they go to run up there, they'll just fucking blow up.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that reminds me of like Metal Gear, the way that it plays. Like there's a lot of stealth and stuff. You can come up behind enemies and do like takedowns on them. But I think what is really exciting about the VR one is because it's like, first person, you're actually doing a lot of the stuff, like reloading weapons, like you're holding the rifle, looking down the scope. And that's, the other thing that's really cool about it, and you've probably seen this, is like they call it the X-ray, like kill shots or whatever that they do, where it shows the bullet go into the enemies, and it does this like X-ray thing where you see their skeleton, and so like if it hits them in the head, you'll see their like skull like explode.
That's pretty brutal.
It is very brutal, but it's so fucking satisfying. You can get testicle shots. You can see their fucking. You can see their testicles just fucking explode, and that's like one of the most satisfying things. Getting like a 200-yard shot into the dude's testicle.
I want a VR set so bad.
Yeah, dude.
Do you have the? What's it called? Not the PlayStation one, the other one. Oculus.
So my kids have the Oculus Quest 2, and then I have the Valve Index, which I use for myself on the PC. But the Oculus Quest 2 is definitely a highly capable headset. It's freaking awesome, and I know there's a lot more games coming to it, and I know they've done a lot of patches to it that have added more usability, like because originally when you first got it, they're like, well, you can do it wirelessly, or you can tether it to your PC and use it like a PC VR headset, where you can play a lot of those more higher fidelity games like Half-Life Alyx or, stuff like that you can't run solely on the standalone headset. But I know they've recently added usability so you can actually stream the games from your PC to the headset. So, like, if you don't want to have it wired, but you still want to be able to play those games, you can do it over your wireless internet, which is really nice. But they're also adding more games that you can just play it standalone as well that make it, that still make it a lot of fun, and you can still play some of those games. But I know that Sniper Elite VR game I know is coming for Oculus Quest 2, which will be like the standalone one, not just PC. I know it's coming to PlayStation VR, which uses like the PlayStation aim controller, which it's like a gun controller essentially, and it's got a joystick like on the back of the gun, and that works really well with the PlayStation VR because if you're not having to use those stupid Move controllers, like that's a plus.
Those things are very weird looking.
They are very weird looking, and they're just.
When they made those.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck came up with that idea, but it was not a good idea. They're like, here, we got these really awesome controllers for this VR headset. You're like, where'd you get my wife's dildo from? You're like, no, that's the controller. Oh, you made that. Oh. I'll see myself out then. Yeah, they're not that great. Plus they don't have any joysticks on them either, so like those came out during the PlayStation 3 era. What the heck? Hold on a second.
Yeah, they basically recycled the PlayStation 3 stuff to use for their VR, which is kind of shitty.
Yeah, they're very dated. They don't have any joysticks, so you can't move around. Like some games, I think use it really well, where you're like you can. Like Iron Man VR, I think did a really good job of utilizing that sort of the Move controllers and everything, because a lot of it, it's like how you're aiming it, then you can like activate the thrusters and move in that direction. Like that works, but not every game is that way, In
VR, I want gloves to put on where each finger has their own sensors, so when you're in the game with the guy's hand, you can see your little fingers moving and everything, be able to grab stuff perfectly.
I agree. There are some out there, but the technology is not fully there yet. Or the battery power. Like a lot of them have these huge ass cables that come off of them. That just it's just not. You can't just use them for everything right now, but they are really cool. Like some of them have, like some of the really good ones have sort of like a force feedback type of thing. So when like say you're going to grab an object in game like a rock or something, it will actually like pull back on your fingers in a sense, so that way it stops you from closing in on that object, so it feels like you're actually touching it, and then it's got feedback through the fingers, so like haptic feedback, so you're feeling that vibration of touching that object.
See, I want to get a VR fighting game. We have like a suit and you can play a fighting game, but you feel every blow,
like fucking Ready Player One with that what was that, like the suit that he wears and shit?
Yeah, that thing's crazy.
That is fucking awesome. There is and there is sort of stuff like that too, where you can get like the vests, and then they have, I think they do have like gloves, and then there's like a facial interface that attaches to the headset that has vibrating sensors as well. So like if you get shot or something, you'll feel it wherever I guess that sort of area is. And some of them have like more nodes than others as well, but they're kind of expensive.
That'd be cool for like a boxing simulator.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
Feel out like you're getting hit and everything.
Yeah, that'd be fucking sweet, man.
Fair.
Yeah. I know. There's not enough out there, but it's always getting better, you know, like VR has definitely I've seen the technology increase like twofold in just the last year or so. Where it's like we're getting actually like full-fledged games now versus like these experiences that we used to be getting where you're like, oh, 30 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and you're like, I paid fucking $30 for this shit? Like, what? This isn't a fucking game? Like...
Yeah, the only VR I ever played was with the cell phone. You just clip it into the thing.
Yeah.
It's just like little, like you said, experiences.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Run away from the zombies.
Yeah, or it was like a lot of like wave-based shooter type stuff where you're just standing there and then enemies just come at you and you're just like hiding behind cover and shooting or whatever, and it's like that's not my idea of like fun for a VR game. Like I like being able to move around in this like virtual space and be able to explore these worlds and stuff. Like Half-Life Alyx was definitely one of my favorites because it's like 15-20 hours for the story, and you have like all these unique areas that you get to explore and unique experiences that happen within those spaces, and it's all about like how they write that into the game that makes it really unique.
Although a Time Crisis VR game would be sick.
Yes, I would
You know,
love
see like fly by you and everything. That'd be so cool.
Dude, that would be freaking awesome. Yeah, I think
VR.
What's that?
The House of the Dead VR. Did you ever play those arcade games?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we had those I think for PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2. I know PlayStation 1 we had Time Crisis with like the gun and everything.
I forget whether it's a movie or a video game, but I heard there's a House of the Dead remake coming.
Oh.
Which, if you ever saw the movie, it was awful. They tried to like incorporate the video game.
I do remember that. Yeah, it was terrible, dude. So bad. Man, like
It's fun drama.
yeah, you're like, this is gonna be so awesome, bro. And then you watch it and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Dream is to get a Time Crisis and a House of the Dead arcade cabinet in my house.
You used
That'd
to
be
have
sick.
them?
Oh, it's my dream to get one.
Oh, you want them. Dude, I bet those go for a lot of money. Yeah. Couple, like, probably almost, like, probably like $8,000 a piece.
Not that much. I think the cheapest House of the Dead one I saw was probably like $3,000.
That's not too bad.
Time Crisis was like 2,500.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So,
So it'd be like, you're like, so I either buy my kid's first car or we're getting a Time Crisis cabinet. You're like, honey, you're not going to believe this. Like, you got a car for little Jimmy? No. Even better. I got the Time Crisis cabinet. It's in the garage, baby. She's like, so I also have good news. We're getting a divorce. Shit, that's not where I saw that going.
to be fair, she loves Time Crisis.
Your wife does?
Yeah. Oh, see, you got Time Crisis 1 on eBay. It only has one, Time Crisis 2, but it only has one controller, so it's 3,700.
Damn, man. That's crazy.
If you find one with both, that's Time Crisis 2, it's 4,700, which you get in 2 arcade cabinets pretty much with both guns.
Damn. That's pretty cool.
If only friggin' Dogcoin and AMC would blow up, Keith.
For real, man. I know. The world hates us and does not want us to be rich.
Oh shit. This is like a super souped up House of the Dead. It's 2,500 $25,199.
Jesus, what's so souped up about it? Like custom cabinet?
It's got you basically sit down in it, and it's got the giant screen, and it's all enclosed in.
Oh, that's
So, like,
cool.
Remember those things?
Yeah. Yeah, they had like I know they had like an Aliens one like that, and then they also had like a Jurassic Park one that was kind of like that.
But this one's only $2,000 for the regular one.
That's not bad.
Which it's actually a nicer one. Need more money, Keith.
I know, man. That's what I'm saying. We need to hit it big so we can buy all the cool shit that we want. You know? So yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing. I figured maybe we can get into a little bit of like the Summer Game Fest. And I did also pull some other articles that were like really cool games that I was looking at. So the first one is Unsighted. This game looks really cool. It has a lot of action RPG elements to it. Let me see here. Blends a lot of fun concepts we know and love into a cool Android world. It looks like it plays a lot like Hyper Light Drifter.
I like the art style.
Yeah, the art style is really freaking cool. It's very like Hyper Light Drifter, like first and foremost, but it has like some other Metroid and kind of like Battle Angel Alita look to it.
Is this on the Switch?
I think it's going to be, yeah. Let me see. I'm looking at their article here. Yeah, so it looks like it's scheduled for a 2021 release on Steam, Switch, and Xbox One.
Sorry, PlayStation.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, it's got like it reminds me a lot of like Hyper Light Drifter and like Hades a little bit too. This game looks really awesome.
Yeah, I want to play.
Yeah, and, you know, there wasn't a ton of like big announcements that I saw from like E3 or the Summer Game Fest that like really wowed me. It was more of like, I don't know. I feel like I say this every year going forward, but it's a lot of indie titles that are like, holy shit, dude, this looks fucking awesome. Like, I'm definitely playing this.
Yeah, few games at E3 I really cared about. It's like the George R. R. Martin game, maybe the Demon's...
Yeah, From Software's Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. And then the Evil Dead game looks awesome.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna have to play that shit.
When we get that, me and Chris want to do Let's Plays of it, so you need to join us.
Yeah, dude, that would be awesome. Hopefully, are you guys gonna be playing on PlayStation?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can probably do that then.
Probably cross.
That would be cool if it's cross-platform. Yeah, that game looks sweet too. Has like all the characters from like every Evil Dead movie and Army of Darkness. Henry the Red.
I'm just shocked that the licensing let him have a lot of the characters, because the two Evil Dead movies are made by different people that made Army of Darkness. Universal owns Army of Darkness.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So I'm surprised you get to see like Henry VIII and all them in that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
because when the Evil Dead Ash vs. Evil Dead show came out, they had to call it Evil Dead because something with Universal not letting them use some of the stuff from that movie.
yeah,
So that's why I'm surprised that the video game's getting it now.
Yeah, that's very strange. I don't know, unless it must have been like, I mean, I know Sam Raimi was like, I mean, he did all of those movies, so maybe he's probably got a lot of say in it too, though.
Yeah, and people like money, so.
That too, yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I'm gonna skip over this next article for this other one because it's kind of in line with this. This other game looks fucking awesome. Replaced.
Yeah, I'm watching it now for it. This looks really cool.
So, do you remember it was like a couple years back at E3 there was that game announced called The Last Night?
Yeah, I believe so.
It was very similar art style, where it was like the pixel art, but it had sort of that 3D, like all those layers to it. And it showed like the dude like jumping off of like a building or he was like jumping off the pier into like a taxi cab, and then it like flies away. and there's a lot of cool like Blade Runner-esque kind of elements to it. This game reminds me a lot of that. I haven't heard anything about that game in the last couple of years. I know there was sort of like some I don't know if there was like a lawsuit against the developer who was working on it, and I don't know like what that entailed necessarily. But I haven't heard anything about that. So this was like really exciting to see something in the same vein of what that game was, and hopefully this one actually comes out.
These environments are crazy.
Isn't it fucking wild, dude? Like yeah,
when they show the neon and everything, that looks so cool.
Yeah, the neon and the reflections off of the ground and everything looks so freaking cool, man. Yeah, very next level. But yeah, it just has a lot of that really cool noir, dystopian, Blade Runner-esque kind of feel to it. It looks like, let me see here. It says, today Xbox Showcase gave us a look at Replace from Sad Cat Studios. Replace is billed as a cinematic retro-futuristic action thriller set in the dystopian version of the 80s USA. Well, that was a mouthful. But gives us at least some sense of what we can expect out of the project, which offered up some great animation and art in today's trailer. Players control an AI that's been placed inside of a human body and follows along as the individual explores a bleak and almost post-apocalyptic world. The combat in particular looks to offer some really compelling twists, focusing on cool moves that you might see in a high-end action flick. We also see the main character traversing ruined buildings and some tense platforming sequences. Meanwhile, the art itself was especially striking, using pixel graphics to paint a potent and realistic world that seems to draw the player into action. And it takes a lot of cues from, again, like Blade Runner. There's that movie Upgrade that was really good. That's kind of
it was amazing.
Wasn't that really good, man?
Yeah.
So and like they were saying, these like the fight scenes look fucking badass, man. Like he like vaults over the dude with the shield and then like hits him with the baton or whatever. There's some really cool platforming where he's like jumping and climbing and stuff like that. I think that's freaking awesome. And so it looks like this is targeted for 2022 on Xbox Series X/S, Xbox One, PC, the new Xbox Cloud Gaming service, and it's also going to be day one on Game Pass, which is awesome. So I'm like really looking forward to this game. Hopefully it's like early 2022. Let's see. Next up we have the Atari console, the VCS.
Yeah, what the hell is going on with this?
Yeah, well, I know like when they first announced it a couple years back, they were like, it's gonna be like a console mixed with a PC, and it's gonna be like next gen, blah. But this review that I pulled from IGN, the guy kind of basically said it's very lackluster in what they promised it to be. It's like a modern retro Atari console. I think they like kickstarted it on Indiegogo in May of 2018. People really excited to pre-order this new Atari console since the Atari Jaguar in the 90s. And the official website is championed as blending the best of consoles and PC, but in reality, the system is nothing more than a watered-down combination of a console and a PC, and sets out to do some interesting things, but doesn't do anything unique, and it doesn't do anything well. It definitely doesn't justify the price tag, which I can't remember how much this was. Let me see. Why is there no price?
Yeah, like they added the price. It just says it costs too much.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. What's that?
Because if you want a $300 machine to emulate old games, buy an Xbox Series S.
There you go.
I looked for controller for that price, so I guess this doesn't come with the controllers.
It doesn't even come with the controllers?
No.
What the fuck, man? Yeah, like it's a cool idea in theory, like it, but
What's the problem that Google, Stadia, and all this stuff are trying to do? Like,
trying to
they're trying
replace
to
the PC market
console,
and console market. Yeah.
yeah, trying to like combat in like Xbox and PlayStation, which nobody's going to be able to do that other than Nintendo.
Right. I know. It's just and the problem with like a lot of that stuff, especially with like Stadia, like these cloud services, is that you have to have good internet for it to work.
Yeah.
And not everybody has that. Like the infrastructure for internet is not always the greatest, especially when you're talking about like other countries like Australia. Like Australia is notorious for having really shitty internet. You know, like when they go to download a game, it can take them up to a freaking week to download it. 60
Jesus
gig
Christ.
game, you know, and it's like, how do you expect them to use a cloud service? You know, but then like even areas like, I don't know, like the town I live in, like you can get fiber internet, which is, it's damn good. But, you know, like there's still some streets or whatever that aren't serviced by that. So not everybody gets that. So some other people have to get broadband, or just outside the city limits, you probably can't get the fiber net. So you have to get broadband or whatever. And, you know, with broadband, it's not like super great for streaming anything, you know, let alone a game or whatever. So,
Well, the worst thing about broadband too is peak times kill everybody. Unless you're on like a fiber optic network, you're sharing your internet with everybody around you.
right.
So no matter what, you're gonna be like lagging at like dinner time or after dinner time when everybody's watching TV on the internet and all that stuff.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, so we have like the fiber internet, which is like you were saying, it's definitely a lot better because you're not sharing that with everyone. Everybody's got their own sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's a cool idea with the Atari console, but the fact that it doesn't really do anything great for the price tag is kind of disappointing. What'd you say?
It's gonna bomb faster than the Stadia did.
Yeah, it probably will.
No, until you just told me.
Yeah. Well, there's like a lot of weird stuff that they were talking about. Like the 4K doesn't really work with everything. It's like it's kind of weird. Like where was that part? Yeah. Speaking of 4K, don't even bother. You can change the resolution in the settings to 720, 1080, or 4K. I don't know why you'd want to experience Atari 2600 Asteroids in 4K, but it's an option. Changing resolution requires a full system restart, which is annoying, and changing it back after you see how poorly it runs also requires a system restart. Seriously, at 4K, everything is choppy and bogged down. The splash screens, navigating menus, all of it chugs along at an annoying rate, and that's just the UI.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's disappointing. So like the PC mode, what they were talking about, if you have a bootable thumb drive with an operating system on it, you can use the Atari VCS PC mode to turn the tiny device into a tiny functional PC. I don't have a copy of Windows laying around, but I am the annoying guy who uses Linux regularly, so I made a bootable Ubuntu thumb drive and plugged it in. Navigating to the PC mode section of the home menu brings up a prompt telling you to insert a thumb drive and then restart the VCS. That's it. The official instructions tell you to insert thumb drive and then power cycle it with the switch on the back. Whatever method I used, I was unable to boot my Ubuntu thumb drive. I tried 2 different thumb drives, all the USB ports, and even 2 different Windows programs to make the bootable media. Nothing worked. Plugged it in and then powered the VCS. Nope. Plugged it in while the VCS was on and power cycled. Still nothing. Tested the thumb drive on my laptop and booted in with no problem. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's supposed to be this, like, easy thing to do, but apparently it's not. So the verdict is the Atari VCS costs too much, does too little to recommend it. 4K mode is pretty pointless. Other than it makes a nice marketing bullet. The number of built-in games is impressive on paper, but there's too few games you'd actually want to play and too many games that didn't age well at all. The PC mode is poorly implemented and doesn't make a lot of sense in practice. It would be better just to install the 2600 and MAME games on your PC and then install PC software on a glorified emulating machine. If you want a $300 machine to emulate old games, buy an Xbox Series X, like you were saying, and it comes with a controller for that price too. Yeah, it just doesn't seem worth it. And I think I read earlier when I was looking at the article, it said something about like as soon as he turned it on, the fan was like annoyingly loud.
Which is pleasant.
Yeah, you're like, you get all of the things that come along with having a PC, even the annoying fan sound, which like for a PC that makes sense because it's a large device, like a large system that needs the fans to cool it down. Like you literally don't need that for that small little thing. Do you remember that jet engine sound that you got from the original launch PS4s? Yeah, we implemented that shit.
Wait for it to catch on fire.
Yeah. It even has the overheating feature as well. Yeah, so that's interesting. I just thought you remember hearing about that a long time ago, and I finally saw this review, and I was like, oh shit, I don't remember hearing that it was out. Like, it looks cool and stuff, but yeah, it's just not worth it. But let's get into what's that?
Sorry, but I feel like the only people that are gonna buy this are people that have like disposable money that are like, ooh, Atari.
Yeah, I think people who are like really nostalgic for like having an Atari system and wanting to play a lot of those old games, I think that's cool, but again, like, yeah, if it was cheaper, I would say totally go for it. What was that console thing that that Matt bought that you could plug in old like Game Boy Advance and original? Was it just Game Boy Advance or Game Boy original carts?
I don't know. Was it something that plugs into the Switch or?
No, it was like its own console, and you could plug in like old cartridges and stuff into it to play them. And it allowed it so you can play it on the TV and everything.
I don't know if it might have been like super unlegit thing he bought.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him about that. I can't remember what it was called. But that looked really cool. Like that is, I think, really awesome. Like something like that is really cool. But yeah. So I wanted to get into the Summer of Gaming 2021. So it looks like there's still some more events that are happening within the Summer of Gaming. I think, let's see, they just had an event on the 23rd. I think was the last one. There's one coming up on July 6th, the Nacon Connect. And then we got July 9th, which is doesn't have a time. It just says to be decided for the WitcherCon. Tuesday, July 22nd is the EA Play Live Showcase, and I think that's the last one. But then there's been other stuff that was already announced. Some of it we may have mentioned on the last episode, like the Nintendo Direct. There was like a Razer E3 keynote, the Capcom Showcase, Forza 5. They had the Halo Infinite multiplayer overview, Future Game Show. Let's see. What was part of the Future Game Show? Jurassic World Evolution 2, Dying Light 2, the developer interview, Sonic Colors Ultimate, and freaking Dying Light 2 looks awesome. I can't wait for that. PC Gaming Show. What did they have there? I don't know. Nothing off the top of their head. Square Enix, we had the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase, Upload VR, Gearbox, Ubisoft Forward, and Devolver Digital. Have you watched any of the Devolver Digital directs that they've done?
No, but that's one of the ones Chris always says they do a good job.
Chris would like that. That is like definitely right up Chris's alley. It's so fucking weird, but like, it's like an Adult Swim sort of like late night crazy fucking show that they put on. Like the first one that they did, like they have Nina Struthers, she's like their spokesperson, but like that's not actually her name. Like, but she goes on stage and she's like, we're gonna get these games into your hands the second they're announced, before they're even finished. And they brought like this computer screen on stage, and the dude's like throwing money at the screen, and then goes to like reach in and grab his money, and it like fucking eats his arm off, and he's like bleeding and shit. And then Nina Struthers eventually, like, she ends up getting shot on stage and then brought back to life as like an android, and super over the top, but it's fucking like it's genius, man. Like it's so good, and they like a lot of their ideas just make fun of a lot of the ideas that like EA has, like games as a service sort of thing.
Yeah, I'd imagine what you're saying. They would just target EA a lot.
Yeah, like the one that for 2021, their direct. I watched like most of it. It was like a half-hour long episode that they did. And so like in between different segments, they would show off some of the games that they were doing for Devolver Digital. But it was like they had Nina Struthers and everything, and they're like, we have the best idea. And it was like monetization as a service. And so they came up and it was like making fun of that whole process. They're like, you get it was called like multipass plus or something like that, and they're like, multipass plus is free, you can access all of your games for free, but they're like, but the purchases, like, you got to pay for those, but once you purchase them, then you get to access them for free. I was fucking dying, dude. It was ridiculous. But it's just genius, you know. And they have like a lot of really cool games usually for their lineup. They're usually a lot of like indie games and stuff. Let's see. Trying to find something here. Oh, there was like the Far Cry 6, but I don't think they showed any gameplay for that yet. I think it was just like a trailer for it.
Yeah.
But
What's his name?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be an excellent villain in that game.
He does a good job at it.
Yeah. He always plays an excellent villain in anything that he's been in. Let me see here. Damn it. What was... Oh, they did do... There was the Upload VR showcase, which there was like some stuff I wanted to go over in that. Let me see. Oh yeah, so there was a Sniper Elite VR. I guess they showed like some X-ray gameplay there of like how the bullet physics and everything work within VR. And let me see, whole slew of Sniper Elite announcements in March. Finally have a good look at Sniper Elite VR's gameplay. Oh, there was they announced, I think they finally announced the release date for After the Fall, which is... So, did you ever play, what was it, Arizona Sunshine? Was that zombie game for Oculus? And I think they brought it to PlayStation VR as well. Like, it was a really good game. But After the Fall is like, it's more of like in the sense of like a Left 4 Dead zombie game. So you kind of have to work together as a team. And I think there's going to be like a lot of customization and everything where you can customize your weapons in between. And you have to take on like all these zombies and bosses and stuff like that. It looks really cool. It looks pretty sweet. Let's see. Vertigo Games is the developer for that. Why is there no release date here? Let me try to open this up here. Oh, it's coming summer 2021. Okay. So I think it's pretty right around the corner. That's the weird thing though, like with VR games, is they never have a release date until it's like the day before. And they're like, guess what? That game you're looking forward to? Yeah, that's coming out tomorrow, guys.
Well, imagine a VR game you would need to have perfect.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what it is.
That's what a buggy VR game would be.
Yeah.
Or it could be hilarious.
Yeah, because if it's very weird and glitchy and stuff like that, there's a lot of people who already can't play because of like motion sickness and stuff like that. So you have to iron out a lot of those issues before releasing it, or else people are going to be like really pissed about it. Yeah, not fun. The next one is I Expect You to Die 2. I played the first one, I think, on Steam VR. And the first one was freaking awesome. You play as like a spy and you have to infiltrate like all of these different like scenarios where you're like James Bond essentially. But you get in these scenarios, like there was one where you're in a car trying to you have to escape this car before you die. So like all like the main villain is always trying to kill you and like locking you into like these scenarios, and there's like booby traps and shit set up. And so like the one was a car, and you have to figure out how to like get out of the car, and eventually there's like noxious gas that starts coming through the vents, and you have to like you have a certain amount of time to figure out how to like open the door. And there was another one where you're like locked in a submarine, and like one of the pipes bursts, and there's like water starting to fill up, and you have to do all this shit to like find your way to get out of the hatch and you have to slow the water from coming out, and it's just like it's a really cool freaking puzzle game.
Those would be cool VR games.
Yeah, it's fun when you're like manipulating a lot of things in like a physical space. You know, and it kind of makes you use your brain a little bit to kind of figure it out. So this one looks freaking cool. I'm excited for the second one to come out. And let me see if there's anything when it says. I don't know why they can't just put in here when it's supposed to come out.
Welcome.
Shh. Heard enough of you, trailer. As revealed during April's Oculus Gaming, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I don't know. Thanks for no release dates, guys. The next one, this is a PSVR exclusive, and I hate when those words ever get uttered. PSVR exclusive, because it just makes me upset. Like, you're telling me I gotta fucking break that old piece of shit out again? It's just such a pain in the ass to set up. Like, you know, especially like my son loves the PSVR for like some of the games, but like having to like set it up and get it like calibrated and all that stuff is just like a pain in the ass. It's not user friendly whatsoever.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, because it's like it solely relies on the camera that sits on top of your TV, and then it's tracked all but the lights and everything. And like, and depending on, say I'm using it, and then my son who's 8, you know, who's like half the size of me wants to use it next. I gotta readjust and recalibrate everything.
You serious?
Well, yeah, and it's not. It's just or else it gets all weird and like doesn't track properly and everything, and the whole calibration process is like, here, hold this headset in front of the screen and match it up with these like shapes on the screen where the lights fit in there. So you're like holding it like this, turn it sideways, turn it backwards, and it's like, nah, man.
Games for PlayStation VR. I thought they would have tried to kill that off a while ago.
Yeah, they're definitely adding more. And I know with the launch of the PS5, I know they were talking about coming out with the PSVR 2, which they've already shown what the controllers look like so far. And the controllers, I think, are kind of like a good blend between Oculus controllers and the Valve Index controllers. It's supposed to have like finger tracking like the Index controllers, and it's also gonna have joysticks and everything, so you can move your characters around in a physical space without, like, if you live in an apartment or something and you have a small bedroom that you're confined to using your VR headset and you can't walk and you're just like sitting on your bed or something, you can use the joysticks to move your character in game, which is nice. And I think they're supposed to be also adding a lot of the what is it, like the DualSense adaptive triggers from the the DualSense controller. So I think that's going to be really cool, especially like if you're playing, say you're playing like a shooter on the PSVR. That's going to be really cool, having to like simulating those trigger pulls and things like that.
That's cool. That's
going to be fucking cool. Yeah. So I really hope that. And I think with the PSVR 2, they're totally, I think, doing away with the whole breakout box. Because you have, like, for the PSVR, you have this, like, they call it a breakout box. So you have to have, like, an HDMI that goes into the TV, and then there's another one that goes into the back of the PlayStation 4, and then there's a USB cable that goes into the back of the PlayStation 4. Then you have the headset that plugs into the front of that box. And it's just, like,
a lot of wires.
A lot of extra wires, yeah. And from what I understand with the PSVR 2, they're slimming it down so it's literally just like a USB-C cable that plugs into the front of the console.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be nice. Just one cable to rule them all. Also one to find them. You know all about that, right? Don't you, Chadley? Watching all the Lord of the Rings movies?
I gotta watch Return of the King this week.
Yeah, and then you guys are going over that?
Yeah,
Nice.
that'd be a fun one.
That's awesome.
I
Um,
am. I found out how to download videos from Just Your Averages thing.
what do you mean?
So if you go into the YouTube studio for your channel, you can download the videos onto your computer.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and I'm uploading them all onto the Fanboy channel. So it's going to be the Lost Reviews.
Oh, interesting. Wait, so you record them and then you
Yeah, you basically just download them right onto your computer. And now I can upload it onto my phone, so then re-edit it a little bit,
Oh,
give
okay.
some stuff,
Oh, that's
and then
nice.
put it right onto our channel. So we had some good reviews. One of them had like 732 views, which was pretty cool for us, at least.
Oh, so you're downloading them from like YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha. And then you're re-uploading them on Fanboy and the Snob.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like, wait, what am I missing here? That I'm not understanding. Sorry, my brain's not working 100% right now.
And explaining things.
That is cool. Yeah, cuz that sucks. Like, you know, I know you guys like worked really hard on Just Your Average, and then to have to like lose it
Yeah.
kind of sucks. So, that's cool that you're able to recover that and kind of translate it over into the new thing and edit it and add, are you adding like the Fanboy and the Snob logo in there and stuff?
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Our Bone Tomahawk one, which is coming out, I think, tomorrow. I put scenes in, but I put way too long of scenes in because I'm stupid and didn't understand how long of a scene you could actually put in before they copyright you.
Oh, yeah, how long is it that you can get away with?
I don't remember. I just don't do it really anymore. I do like 3 or 4 seconds.
I was going to say I don't think it's very long because even like
Yeah.
what was it? It wasn't last episode, but it was the episode before when it was just me and AJ and using my Stream Deck, it was like messing up on me. So it switched over from the podcast setup that I have in Streamlabs to my game stream setup profile. So in there, like my starting screen, I have set up with like, what is it, like royalty free music supposedly, but it was only like 3 seconds, and they literally copyright claimed me for it, and so I had to remove that section from it. I was like, 3 seconds, really?
Yeah, YouTube's getting crazy.
It's so stupid, man.
A
Like,
lot of times when they do it for you, it just means if you get a lot of views on it, you won't be able to make money off it.
yeah, yeah, and
But I had
I
a
was
hard
like,
copyright. I was on the Bone Tomahawk one.
you had a hard copyright claim on that?
Yeah, I was so stupid. I think it was like a little over an hour. And then when I took the scenes out, it was like 45 minutes, I think.
Oh, jeez.
I think I put too much in.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. Like, I just don't understand why you can't use footage like when you're like, especially if you're just like talking about that thing.
Yeah.
What's the fucking
The
harm?
thing I'm mad about, we did this one review. I forget the name of the movie. But I put stuff from the trailer in, but I guess I put too much from the trailer, which I thought the trailer was free game. Like, just put whatever you want from the trailer.
Right.
But I think I put like a little bit longer than I should have, so they did a copyright strike on that.
Oh my god. It's
So the Samurai, I put like a little bit of the music in, and we get a copyright strike on that.
that's so dumb. That's so
Yeah.
dumb. Yeah. Freaking YouTube, man. It's retarded.
YouTube and Twitch are getting out of control.
Yeah, Twitch is being like really controlling about a lot of that stuff, you know. God damn, man. I don't know, you can't get away with shit these days. Oh, so what I was gonna say is the PlayStation VR exclusive game. It's called Fract, and it looks like there was some new gameplay in there. I don't know when this is coming out because they don't have any release dates here. Freaking IGN, thanks guys. So this game looks really cool. I don't know if it looks like it's kind of like an on rails. So it does kind of remind me a lot of like Time Crisis. Like, so you're like on rails, and a lot of times you're like either ziplining or you're on like skis or like, you know, different things like that, and you're just kind of shooting the enemies as you're going by them.
That's cool.
And it looks really cool. Like the art style is very like cell shaded looking, kind of like that game 13 a little bit.
What they call it again?
It's called Fract. Yeah, this game looks really cool. No, I don't want sound. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm looking at the trailer right now. Yeah, like in the very first part, you're on skis, and there's like all these like snowmobile guys going down the hill, and they're shooting at you, and you're shooting back at them. It looks freaking awesome, man. And that's why I'm like disappointed. I'm like, I wish this was coming out on like at least Oculus or PC or something like that. Would be freaking cool. It's very like James Bond-esque, just like high action. Which another like PSVR game that's really awesome is Blood and Truth, which like has moments like this where it's kind of like on rails, but those are like during certain sequences. Otherwise, it's like a cover shooter, so you can aim where you want to go, and then it'll take you behind. You'll move to that cover, and then you can like shoot guys and everything. And that game's kind of like a James Bond-esque game. It has a lot of really cool voice acting and music, and really awesome game.
Yeah, I haven't seen a cell shaded game like that in a while.
Yeah.
Remember when cell shading was becoming like the big thing and everybody tried doing it?
Yeah, everybody was doing it for like a couple of years there.
Bad.
Yeah. some games did it really well, and others were just like meh. Like 13 was really cool. I know they did the remake, which I heard didn't really do very well recently because they kind of kept a lot of the mechanics the same. They didn't change them up. What was that one? Was it Red Steel? Was on the Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game looked really cool. I never actually played it, but it looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was more stylized, I think, with like kind of looked like ink paintings, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't quite. Yeah, it was kind of like a blend of like cell shading and sort of like an ink sort of overlay to it. But it had a lot of the cool motion controls, like you can use like katanas and guns and all that kind of stuff. That was really cool.
I think No More Heroes did that too, didn't they?
Yeah, I think No More Heroes also had that cell shaded kind of look to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't play that one either, but I heard that was really good.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I know there's like, I think I might have played the first one and that was it. I know AJ's talked about them a lot. They do kind of like, it's like a weird storyline to it, and I mean not as weird as like Kingdom Hearts. That's definitely like a whole nother level of weird. But yeah, it's different, Yeah, I should maybe try and play one of those games soon.
Did you ever play Catherine?
No, but I've heard amazing things about that game.
The art style on that was really cool. I don't know if it's kind of like cel shady, I guess.
I think
More anime.
I think it was more anime is what they were going for with that one. Did you play it?
Yeah, I never beat it, but my friend had it and I played it. It was really fun.
Yeah, it's got like a lot of cool like mini games and stuff in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And like a really cool storyline.
Yeah, like basically stuck in like a love triangle.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. I think there was, wasn't it like, I think they came out with like it was like the Ultimate Edition that they came out. It was like Catherine Full Body Edition or something like that. Something ridiculous.
Very cheeky.
Very cheeky. Yeah.
To get on the website, you need to be 18.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Blood, partial nudity, sexual themes, strong language, use of alcohol, and violence.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this game was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
The puzzles were really cool, though.
The puzzles were cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we got here? Song in the Smoke. It was announced, I guess, this past March. It's a beautiful but deadly VR survival game. The developers from 17-Bit sat down to talk more about how the game. God, I can't fucking talk. I guess it's also the whatever, the typos on this freaking on IGN are also bad, so that doesn't help. Talk more about how the game has come together and what's in store for the game slated for the release of next year. What is this game? What are you? It's a survival game. That doesn't really tell me a lot. Let's see. Let's skip ahead a little bit and find out what this is. You have like a bow and arrow or something. Okay, I don't know. This looks interesting. A lot of like melee and. All right. Well, okay. That's interesting. What's this one? Offspring's headline: Unplugged song roster. Brand new rhythm game Unplugged was revealed and headlined by the Offspring's new song "The Kids Aren't All Right." So, oh, no. So it looks like a VR game where you get to play like instruments on stage. This is
Trying to bring Guitar Hero back.
Apparently it looks like Guitar Hero, but you don't actually have a guitar in your hands. You're just using. Well, look, like in the trailer, it looks like the guy's using the Oculus Quest 2 and he's using like the hand tracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it.
You got a guitar in there.
Yeah. I did see though that like you remember like Rocksmith? I think they came out with a new version of that.
My friend learned guitar on that.
What's that?
My friend actually learned guitar on that.
Yeah, it's a really cool tool, I think, to learn a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, the fact that you can literally plug in your own guitar and play it on your computer with like the game, like the songs in the game and stuff, I think is really awesome. My brother actually used my electric guitar that I made to play on there. Yeah, and I was like, that's pretty cool, man. That is fucking sweet. What is this? Waltz of the Wizard breaks out the magic tricks for update. Okay. Oh, that's just an update. Why are they talking about games that are already out? I don't understand this. This is not what is it's supposed to be new games, Dan. What the fuck? Rhythm of the Universe Ionia release window announced. A new VR fantasy title is expected to come to Steam, Vive, Oculus, and PSVR in Q3 of 2021. Oh, interesting. 5% of the revenue for this title will also go to Steve and Terry Irwin's Wildlife Warriors charity. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff going on in this trailer, and I don't understand. It's really throwing me off. The graphics look really cool, though. It's just like this. It's like an open world with like all these weird alien-looking-ish creatures and stuff. What do you do though? I definitely see a lot of Steve Irwin in this trailer. Which I still don't. I mean, I understand like that they're donating to it, but what does that have to do with the game?
It's like it.
Is this like you play as like a fantasy version of Steve Irwin in this game? I don't know. All right, moving on. Yeah, I guess there wasn't a whole lot here. Oh, there's a Sam and Max virtual reality game coming out, which is cool. Do you remember those games?
Familiar.
It was like the point-click adventure games where you play as Sam and Max. It was like a dog and a rabbit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like those games were funny as shit, like comedy adventure with a lot of like room style puzzles and stuff. And I think that's pretty cool going into like VR, having a lot of those room style puzzles and the narration and just like the comedy and stuff. I think is really cool. No release date, of course. Yeah. Survival game Green Hell for PC VR port revealed. We got a first look at Rainforest survival game Green Hell. with the Vive Cosmos trailer. I remember hearing about this game. I don't know what it actually is. It reminds me of that game like The Forest. Mixed with like Far Cry or something like that. A lot of jungles. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. It looks like it's got a lot of like Rust sort of elements where you have to like build a shelter. Rust in Minecraft, but with like a survival element to it.
Is The Forest a VR game?
I think there is a VR version of The Forest. Yeah, I think on Steam. Do you remember that? Did you ever see that game?
I'm looking at it now. It looks sick.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's got a lot of like horror element to it. Like mostly at night. They're like these weird like creatures with like weird limbs and shit coming off of them. But you can like, yeah, there's a lot of cool survival elements. I think you can play co-op and stuff in that too. And you have to like build shelters and protect yourself. Yeah, this looks interesting. Okay. Yeah, might be fun. What else we got here? Blast on. Oh, that's just like an update thing. Yeah, I guess there was a couple in there, but nothing crazy. I think that's all I have. I didn't have anything else. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about?
I think we got to a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Just for eating and everything.
Yeah, because last week we brought up a lot of like the main stuff, like Breath of the Wild 2. There was the new Metroid Dread game, which looks really awesome. Stalker 2, which looks amazing, and I'm excited for that to come out in April. I can't wait for that shit. It's gonna be so good. Was there anything that you saw at E3 that really stood out to you?
Basically, Metroid Dread, I think looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the Evil Dead game I want to play. The George R. R. Martin one, what's it called?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Cool. That's probably the game I'm most excited for, just story-wise and everything.
Yeah, I remember reading a lot about it, and they were saying how George R. R. Martin actually, like a couple of years ago, before they actually even started the game, wrote all of the lore and everything for it. And then they took all of that stuff and like applied it to the game as they were making it.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. I think I'll probably try it. I mean, the last From Software game I played was Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And I really like the aesthetic of that game with like the samurai sort of theme. And it had a really cool story, but I got to like, I think me and Chris were talking about that on the podcast where we got actually to the same exact part in the game and we were like, yeah, I'm good. like I don't think I have it in me to like go any further, you know. It's just those games are really hard. But I do like the whole like the lore and story of Elden Ring looks really awesome, and the open world sort of aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a little more accessible to like video game kids that aren't the greatest.
Yeah, I know. Like that's the thing. Like with From Software, they try to make them really hard. But yeah, I did hear Demon Souls was actually a bit easier.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm just bad at those games.
I know, me too, man. Like, I want to be good at them, but I'm just like, I don't have it in me.
I like Devil May Cry and God of War, that type of melee.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I ended up just like rage quitting half the time on some of those From Software games. I'm like, I really like this game. This is really good. Fuck you! I'm fucking done with this bullshit.
I think PlayStation had the right idea not going to E3 this year because it was kind of a bummer all around. I mean, Square Enix, they just put a bunch of Marvel stuff now.
Yeah, they had was that where they showed the Guardians of the Galaxy game?
Yeah. What's it called? Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, that actually looked really cool. I'm actually pretty excited about the Guardians game.
I just can't get excited because the Avengers game was awful.
I agree. I mean, I didn't even play the Avengers game because it looked that bad. But this actually looks like I think it'll be a lot of fun. Well, and I don't think it's going to be online either. And I think that was a lot of the problem is that with the Avengers game, they were going for like the games as a service sort of
Yeah.
like thing, like Destiny, and it just shouldn't fucking be that. Like,
Then like bent over to like corporate tie-ins with like Verizon and everything.
right?
It's
Like
like-
fuck off, man. That shit's so stupid. Like, and I think this is like you play as Star-Lord, so it doesn't like specifically follow the comics or the movies. It's kind of like a neat blend between both, which
Yeah.
I think like the Marvel Spider-Man game did a really good job with that, like blending both the comics and the movies, and not being like stuck on one or the other particularly. Like, and they were able to write sort of their own narrative and make it unique in a sense. And I think that's what I feel like watching the trailer for the Guardians of the Galaxy game does that really well. It's
I
sort
don't
of
like how Star-Lord looks though.
he does look a little different. Yeah, he does look a little different. It's
The haircut, man.
the haircut.
The haircut gets to me.
Yeah, and he's like all like totally blonde and everything.
Yeah, I don't care if he's blonde, just that haircut. He looks like a douche.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know.
Rocket looks cool. Drax looks how he should. Gamora
Yeah.
looks good.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see when it comes out. Let's see what the reviews are. I think I think already being that it's just a single player sort of thing going forward, that gives me a little bit of hope that it's going to be good.
Yeah.
You know, it's not relying on being online or any of that stupid bullshit. But yeah, so there was that. Yeah, all the other Square Enix shit was just like lame.
Yeah, that Final Fantasy with generic bro.
Yeah. The
Like,
chaos, bro. Like, we need to stop the chaos. Like, why do you keep saying chaos over and over and over again?
It's like they remade Final Fantasy VII, but I don't think they got what made it great, and they're just gonna come out with another shit game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Uh,
for a long time.
Fighting in that one looks cool and everything, but
Mhm.
I don't think I'll enjoy it. Like me and Chris both think that it's gonna be a make your own character.
Like, they're
Because
not,
the way that character is too generic looking to be a main character.
yeah, I mean, graphically, it didn't look that impressive either.
Well, new Square Enix games like Final Fantasy ones aren't the
Well-
greatest. Remember back in the day, Square Enix used to be like the greatest.
Yeah, I know. They were a great company, and then they wanted to go after money, and then look at them now.
Became Square Enix when they were SquareSoft.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, no, they were an awesome company back when it was SquareSoft. Now Square Enix are just like money hungry. But it was that game, the Final Fantasy Origins, Strangers, whatever, I don't even fucking know. It's actually made by Team Ninja. Not even like I think it's only being published by Square.
So that's probably why the fighting and everything looks cool. And what
Yeah,
makes even more, it might be a make your own character.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. The voice acting was just so bad though.
Yeah.
I don't know. For a long time, like, you know, with Square Enix, like, the Final Fantasy games were not that great. Like, they were just, like, going slowly downhill. Kind of like how Resident Evil. They were just like, really? It's like, this one's okay, then it's bad, then even more bad, and then worse, then worse. You know, then you're like, what the fuck is this? And then they came out with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and you're like, oh, this is actually a lot better. You know, and that's what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake, but then they're going to these other ones, and you're like, it doesn't seem like they really learned their lesson. They're just capitalizing on what made Final Fantasy VII great and not applying what made Final Fantasy VII great to other games to make them also great.
Yeah, I haven't. I played the remake and I played a little bit of 13.
Mhm.
I didn't play 16, which was supposed to be versus,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I think the last one I played before 7 Remake was 15, which it was okay. It was like a weird boy band trip.
oh yeah, 15. I think it was what it was.
Yeah, like the combat system in it was cool, but I didn't really care for the whole like boy band orgy trip. I don't know what was going on there. It wasn't my favorite, you know.
I have to apologize. I have to go.
Okay. I figured we could probably end it anyway, so.
This chaos going upstairs.
Uh-oh. Children are
Patty,
amok.
I have to go to work.
Are they going to burn down your house?
Rally, mate. Then we'll sit there laughing.
She's like, tonight's the night.
But I do thank you for letting me be on. I'm sorry. Every time I come on, I have to bail.
You're good, man. I mean, we've been going for almost 2 hours now, so I mean, I didn't have anything else to talk about. I was just enjoying talking to you about like what you were excited about with E3. So, so yeah, let's wrap this up real quick here. If you guys aren't familiar, we have our retribution/corrections. We're counting on you guys to help us build this podcast, and it's something really great and worth your listen. So if we happen to get anything wrong or mischaracterize things, which we can do from time to time because we are human and we do fuck up from time to time, this is your opportunity to help support us and set the record straight in future episodes. We're counting on you guys to hold our feet to the fire. Just don't burn us too badly. If you're watching the video version, then you will find the links for social media down below. You can also find us on Facebook at digital_denizens, Facebook at digital denizens, Instagram at digital_denizens. And then we also have the content on YouTube for digital denizens and Twitch and Spotify and blah, 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 all that stuff. You can find Chad on Instagram at fanboyandthesnob, youtube.com, search fanboy and the snob. And then, what's that?
/ numbers and letters.
/ numbers and letters that I will not mention. And then you can also find us for New Game Plus. We have the New Game Plus Network, Instagram, and then the Discord as well if you want to come hang out with us, chat, share advice about starting podcasts and all that kind of stuff. But that is all the time that we have for today's podcast. We hope that you guys enjoyed what we hope that you guys enjoyed what you heard, and we truly appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of Digital Denizens. You have no idea how much it truly means to us that we're able to do the podcast, that you guys listen, that you write in as I can't fucking talk words. As I always say, hit that like and subscribe button, and keep your ear to the ground for more to come very soon, guys. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night. We will see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. Or it's a button. There it is.
You are listening to Digital